Hey guys, welcome to RainKingRecording.com. We're just going through the studio today, showing you some of the gear that we have here. What I've got in front of me is an Empirical Labs EL8 Distressor. Let's see, right there. It's one of the most popular compressors here in Nashville. If you go into pretty much any studio in town, you're going to see at least two of these, just because of how much of a staple they've become in the Nashville sound. They're a very vintage sounding compressor, even though they're not really that old. And they're actually digitally controlled, which is really cool. So you can actually switch between completely different analog circuits with the detector and the audio setting here, and through some of the other stuff. But let me just kind of go through it for you and show you the different parts. Right here we have our gain reduction. Now this is not represented in decibels, it's actually just numbers. It's to give you just a representation of how much you're compressing the signal. So if you're compressing it to 10, it's not necessarily 10 dB, it's just kind of giving you a number to look at. Under that we've got our bypass switch. Very simple, it's just a bypass. Under that we have our ratio settings. Which is just like any other compressor, except you switch it with this button right here. You can switch between 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 6 to 1, 10 to 1, 20 to 1, and if it's on nuke, it's infinity to 1, which is just a straight up limiter. Which actually sounds really cool, especially on like a trash mic or a room mic. You can get a pretty cool effect like that. This section here is your detector. And basically what this does is at this point it splits the signal into two different paths. One path will go into the detector, which tells the compressor what to do. The other path will actually go through the compressor. So if your detector is, if you can put filters on the detector. So we can add a high pass filter just by pushing that button. We can add a bump in the mid-range. We can add both. The link button, I believe what that does is just references it when you can link multiple distressors together, and it will reference it to every other distressor, and you can switch between obviously your other filter settings while you're in link 2. This is your actual audio. This is actually what you'll hear. This is the signal that's actually going through the compressor. So you've got a high pass filter. You've got harmonic distortion 2, and you can engage the high pass filter along with the harmonic distortion, or you can have harmonic distortion 3 along with the high pass filter, which is really cool. You can get a lot of cool tones that other compressors just don't give you the option to have by doing that. Obviously we have our input setting. This particular compressor is a lot like an 1176, where you don't actually have a threshold. It's just set, and you control it by adjusting your input. And if it starts getting too loud, you go over to the output and just turn the output down. So the threshold is just set. So the louder we turn the signal up, it's obviously going to get closer to the threshold. And then we actually have an indicator right here, which lets us know that we're hitting the threshold. So the input's just like an 1176. Obviously we have our attack settings and our release settings. They're just like any other compressor, but if you look, they have an option. Some distressors actually have a switch. The later models have a switch for this, but on this one you can just turn it on the attack, you just turn it to 10. On the release you turn it to 0, and that's giving you a photo optical, it's just like a photo optical compressor, much like an LA2A. And then you have your output, which is just your output. You get your power switch, and that's pretty much the front of the EL8. We'll go around back here. It's pretty simple in the back of this thing. Obviously we have our power input, and it is and it's switchable. I'm not sure what you do. You might have to open it up, but you can switch it between 110 volts and 220 volts. And right here we have our link. Basically all you would do if you had two of these is you'd take the input and connect that to the output of the other one, and the output to the input of the other one. There's two inputs. There's balanced XLR, and you have an unbalanced option. Obviously you want to go with the balanced. I don't even know why they put that on there. And the output is the same way. There's a balanced output and a balanced and an unbalanced output. So that's pretty much the Empirical Labs EL8 Distressor. We've got one here at the studio, and if you want to hear it, give us a call and we'll record a record with it for you. Alright guys, make sure you check out RainKingRecording.com. Follow us on Twitter, RK Recording, and you can find us on Facebook too. Thanks guys, and hope to see you soon.